Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, we're going to be looking at a pretty sweet deck. Competitive 2, we're going to be looking at Ezreal Vi Shellfolk. We're going to be looking at this deck. It is a deck that was brought to Worlds and was part of the lineup that won Worlds too, in fact, in the hands of the player Alan ZQ. Very strong deck. Not, I'd say, top tier, like tier 1's a lot better in a more competitive format where you won't see too many memes and you have an ability to ban something, so tournaments and gauntlets, of course, but it's still a solid ladder deck and can get you into Masters and even get you wins and let you climb in Masters. But very, very hard to play deck. So we're going to be looking at that deck, why certain cards are played in the deck, how to mulligan a bit, and just the overall gameplay of the deck. And of course, like always in these videos, I will show off a few games of how to play the deck as well. So, with that all said and done, let's go and take a look at the deck really quick. Okay, so here we are for the deck. Pretty sweet deck here. You got your standard PNZ removal suite, your Mystic Shots, your Thermo Beams, very strong Bandle City cards like Pokey Stick, Shellfolk and Minimorph as well. And our champions are Ezreal and Vi. Vi is mostly just here as some pseudo removal. Ezreal is a extra win con. So how does this deck work? Well, overall, the deck is working because of Shellfolk. Shellfolk is our main win con. We are going to be using Shellfolk to generate insane amounts of value and win just through pure value. Also, the interaction between Shellfolk and Prank is another reason why this deck can even exist. If you don't know what the interaction is, if you have a Shellfolk on the field and you play a Prank, you will get a copy of the card. In other words, Shellfolk will activate, and you will get a copy of the card that you pranked without the negative effect. So you still get the prank effect, giving them whatever negative effect you choose, and you get a copy of the card, and of course it gets discounted because of how Shellfolk works. Also, quick note for Shellfolk, can't copy champs. So if you see Ezreal or a Vi or something in a time trick or something, you can still choose it, just know you're not going to get a second copy of the champion. So let's go over every single card and why they're in here. Some of them, it's kind of obvious. Thermo Beam, it's Thermo Beam. It's just a solid card. If you're in PNZ, usually you're going to play a couple of them. The number is going to depend on just what the meta is and how many you want. So it's up to you how many you want. I like 2 at the moment. Next up, we have 3 Otterpusses. This is doing 2 things. One, it helps you get on the board early against more aggressive decks, and it's a very nice way to give you an early prank. So it's an easy 3 of. Trinket Trade also gives you more pranks in the form of Otterpusses. Great value too because of the spells, getting 2 spells basically. With Shellfolk, you basically want to save your pranks and your Trinket Trades for when you have a Shellfolk, but sometimes you have to play them because you're getting pushed a little bit by a aggressive deck and you just need to survive. So while you really, really don't want to play a prank or a Trinket Trade before you have a Shellfolk out, don't get too greedy and just sit there dying while you have Trinket Trades and pranks. Use the Trinket Trade. Use the prank even if you have no Shellfolk and no way to get a lot of value, just so you can survive. It's kind of, the game plan in certain matchups. Just survive and then you'll eventually win. Next card, though. Another card that works really nicely with Shellfolk, Conchologist. 2-mana 2/2, manifesting a spell that costs 3 or less from the regions. PNZ has some pretty sweet, cheap spells. Mystic Shot, obviously, Get Excited, so on and so forth. And of course, we have Bandle City as well, so more Pokey Sticks, Stress Defense. You can get some Trinket Trades as well. Great card overall. 2 health as well on it, so it survives things like Make It Rain, which is insanely good. Card's great in both aggressive matchups and control matchups. Just a lovely card. One of the cards you always like to see early on in your games. Speaking about early game stuff that manifests, we got our next card up. We got Loping Telescope. Also a really good card. This card can just generate win cons on its own because of really nice epics, things like Rasa, Commander Ladros, Howling Abyss, etc., etc. Having 1 health, though, compared to Conchologist means, in my opinion, if I have the choice between a turn 2 Telescope and a turn 2 Conchologist, I might choose the Conchologist first because Telescope's a little more fragile. But again, like every scenario in card games, it depends. Sometimes I want to play Telescope instead of Conchologist because I want to look for a certain card like a Equinox or maybe get a Moon Silver quickly to try and turbo out, say, a Vi or something. So yeah, just a great card in general. Insane. Gives you good stabilization early. And you can get some win cons in the late game. And of course, it works with Shellfolk too, so that's nice. And it can also high roll with the multi-region follower too, giving you things like Aloof Travelers. And at the moment, you can get another Telescope off of your Telescope. Great card. Next up, Mystic Shot. I don't think I need to talk too much about this. This is the classic PNZ card. Pretty much even when PNZ is bad, Mystic Shot's still good. You're probably always playing 3 of these if you're playing PNZ. This card's just so good, so efficient. Great at clearing out units during combat. And also the fact that it can go face is just really nice too. So great card. Speaking of great cards, sort of the Mystic Shot, but not really. It's the 2 mana damage dealing spell for Bandle City. It's Pokestick, so you know it's like Mystic Shots, Vile Feast, Make It Rain, etc., etc. Most regions seem to have this 2 mana deal damage kind of spell, and most regions are pretty good. I don't think all the regions have it. I don't think like Freljord has a good one. I guess you could say maybe Shatter? I think that's a card. But yeah, Pokestick, solid card, decent removal. It can go face as well, so it can also be a little extra burn damage. Yeah, and it helps cycle, so always a solid card. Even in matchups where your opponent's not playing too many things you want to kill, just throw it at face to cycle. And of course, like a lot of other pings, being able to pop a spell shield's really nice too, and the fact that it cycles is just so insane. Next up, we got Time Trick, just another card that's really, really good with Shellfolk. Only 2 of them, though, because, well, we start to run out of room for more cards, but you can definitely go up to 3. Just really nice card here. It lets you find or try to find some removal in a time of need. Lets you try and find your late game, in other words, your Shellfolk in the late game, so you're not, you're not in that situation where it's like, okay, it's turn 6, turn 7, turn 8. I don't have a Shellfolk. I need to win this game. I need to close out the game. Could also be used to find an Ezreal too after he levels up to try and win the game that way. Solid card. Speaking of which, we got Ezreal next. Ezreal is kind of just our secondary win con. I don't really know if I should call him a secondary win con because he's just also a win con in general. Comes down early if you need an elusive blocker against an elusive deck. If your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with an elusive, he's just going to generate a lot of value by creating Mystic Shots over and over. In more control matchups, he's pretty good because you'll throw him down in the late game after he levels and just do the classic Ezreal thing. You throw him down, you play a lot of spells, and you kill your opponent. Great card. Next up, Station Archivist. Just good value, works well with Shellfolk as well. Lets you, just a solid card. 3 mana, 3/3 is a solid stat line for a 3-drop and gives you some good value. And our deck is a lot of spells, so you're almost always going to get, I'd say, on average 2 hits, so it's pretty good. Great value card. Next up, 3 Sump Fumes. This card, I thought this card wasn't going to be that good when I first saw it, but turns out it's really easy to activate using things like the Manifest cards, Otterpuss, Shellfolk generating a card, Aloof Travelers, Time Tricks, etc., etc. Just makes this really easy to activate. And sometimes just 3 damage or 3 mana for 2 damage is fine, so it doesn't even have to be activated. So I like the card. Definitely solid. Not even sure though if it's better than Get Excited, but people who are better than me have been playing Sump Fumes over Get Excited. And I like Sump Fumes too myself personally, so I haven't tried Get Excited yet, but who knows? Maybe in the future Get Excited will be better. because more face damage, really. Next up, 2 Aloof Travelers. I like the Aloof Travelers in this deck because a little extra card draw is nice. This card is just really, really great in the current meta, getting rid of things like mini morphs. It's not that common, but vengeances as well. Just in other words, the big removal from your opponents to help protect Shellfolk so you can get an extra turn or 2 of value out of your Shellfolk. So only 2 of them though. And this is kind of going in hand with the next card, which is Vi. Only 2 copies of Vi, because in my opinion, 3 Vi's, it's a little clunky. So this list cuts a Vi and some other cards to get into Aloof Travelers. So we only have 2 Vi's, which is, in my opinion, fine. Vi's not really meant to level up and become a win con in this deck. She's really just here to be like a big removal card. So only 2 of them now in this deck. You can definitely cut the Aloof Travelers, go up to a 3rd Vi, and maybe put in like a 3rd Time Trick or a 3rd Thermo Beam. But I like 2 Vi's for now. And then, of course, 3 Shellfolks. This is pretty much the whole point of the deck. Pretty much another champion even. Giving insane value, letting you win games. Pretty tough to remove right now in the current meta too, because the meta is a little removal light too. So solid card. And last but not least, we have one of the newer cards, Mini Morph. This card is crazy good. Basically a removal spell. Sure, it leaves behind a 3/3 Minity, but it's a removal spell. Lets you deal with things like Scion, enemy Shellfolks, the fact that your opponent has a hard time interacting with this because it's a burst speed spell is why this card's so good. So only a 2 of. You can definitely go to 3 if you want, but I think 2 is fine right now for this deck, as we have a lot of other removal spells like Mystic Shot, some Fumes, etc., etc. We don't really need 3 because instead of having the 3rd mini morph, we have our thermogenic beams that can be used for big unit removal. And this card is pretty much here for just things that are annoying to kill, like Scion. So that is the last card, I believe. Yeah, that is all. Those are all the cards in the deck. Very, very fun deck. I will highly recommend this deck. Like I said, so the general game plan is we're going to be using our PNZ removal suite and early game units to just clog up the board, slow down the game, and eventually we'll just win with Shellfolk value. You play Shellfolk and then you, I don't want to say combo, but you just pop off. You play some pranks, you play some trinket trades, maybe some time tricks, telescopes, conchologists, and get some insane value, and then you win from there. And like a lot of control decks, you're going to be passing a lot. Every time you can get a free turn, you usually want to get that free turn. Sure, there are some matchups where you are on a clock, like a Bandle Tree matchup, but this deck is very malleable, if you will. It has a lot of interchangeable parts. For example, Archivist, Aloof Travelers, the 3rd Vi, in my opinion, Time Tricks, and you can definitely put in a couple of Aftershocks if you want to because of Bandle Tree, and I guess even Star Springs too. And if you see, I don't know, even other landmark decks, you could definitely put in some more Aftershocks. So how do you play this deck though, besides that? Like I said, just survive. That's it. Your main goal is surviving and then getting a really nice Shellfolk turn. Because if you have 3 spell mana when you play your 6 mana Shellfolk, so assuming you play it on 6, you can at the very, very least, get a trinket trade, choosing either the spells or the autopost and get 2 of those cards, and that's a little bit of value. And if they don't kill it, then you can start pranking, you can start getting out some more value with Conchologist, Telescope, etc., etc. As for mulligans, it's not that tough of a mulligan. Against more aggressive decks, your standard mulligan for aggressive decks, just look for early game, Autopost, Conchologist, maybe Telescope too if your hand's kind of decent, and some early game removal spells like Mystic Shot, Pokey Stick, maybe a Thermo Beam as well. And then for mid-game, mid-range decks, depends on how slow the mid-range decks are. You might be able to even keep Telescope, maybe a Vi, some removal spells. Early game units like Conchologist, Telescopes, Otterpuss, Mystic Shots as well are fine if they have some kind of early game unit you need to kill right away, like a Catalyzer in Darkness. That's more of a control deck, though. As for control decks, almost always keep at least one Shellfolk. I wouldn't keep more than one, though, because it's a little clunky. And then, depending on the exact control deck, mulligan for value in general. And maybe some removal if they have something you need to kill early, like I said earlier, like Catalyzer. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Just stall, and eventually outvalue your opponent. Don't really think there's too much else to say about this. I would say this deck is very, to me at least, very reminiscent of Draven Ezreal Draven in the fact that it's a slower, more removals focused deck. I wouldn't say it's as mid-rangey as Ezreal Draven. Ezreal Draven definitely didn't go as late as this deck does, but they have similarities. And then there's the fact that they both don't heal, so every point of damage you're taking with this deck is permanent, so be careful how much damage you take. Anyway, though, I'm rambling, so let's get into some games. Why not? Okay, we got Sivir Akshan. This is actually a pretty solid start so far. So, Sivir Akshan, Sivir, whatever you want to call this deck. I don't really know how I would say this matchup goes. I'd say we're fairly even here. I don't think any player is heavily favored. Our mulligan's just going to be this. I don't want to keep Shellfolk. I want to find removal, early game removal, like a Mystic Shot for Akshan. Didn't find it, sadly. But yeah, I'm not too sure about who's favored here. If you can find a Mystic Shot for an early action, I think you're extremely favored, but I'm just keeping Otterpuss Conchologist because it's a solid start here. That's fine. We've got Pokestick for that eventually, so I doubt they trade. I just assume they pass here. But yeah, fun deck here we're going to be playing. Going to show off some of this deck. All right, so we get to see this where we have both Telescope and Conchologist. Just going to attack to pass here. They might not play action. If they pass here, I will pass too. That's pretty solid for me. I'm just going to Conchologist here. Well, these two units, or these two spells are kind of trash, so I'll just take the one spell that actually does something, which is Iterative Improvement. All right, we're fine, we're fine. It seems like they're trying to go very wide. We're fine with that. They probably have, I feel, a barrier of some kind. We have Pokestick. We also have Telescope to play as well as for another unit. We're in a good spot. I assumed they had that barrier, so I'm really happy I have this Pokestick now. Just put a Telescope here. Hope I get something good. They don't really have a way to ping, so I'm probably going to take the Charger. We don't need Leviathan. Leviathan, sure, it's a nice win con, but we have win cons. We just need to survive. Like I was saying over and over and over in the what's it called? Deck preview? Deck analysis screen? Whatever you want to call it. Survival. That's it. All we got to do is survive. I think I'm just going to ping this Fleet Feather Tracker here to get a nice trade, unless... Okay. I have no idea why they would do that. Yeah, I actually have no idea. Are they playing around... No, they're emoting me. Okay, well, that was a weird play, but sure. I'll just get a nice clear here on their challengers. That's all I really care about. No need to chump here. Sure, 3 damage is annoying because we can't heal, but they're almost out of cards. And plus the 1/1 makes the Charger really awkward. Now, though, it could get annoying because of Sivir. Because we don't have a good way to pop a Spell Shield. I'm just going to pass here. Just classic control pass. Nice, no Sivir. If they have the Bruiser, I'm a little scared. But I think I'll just play Charger and pass. This is a solid turn here for me. I like that. I don't know why they're playing a defensive Bright Steel here. Sure. Now if they play a Bruiser, it's not that great. Okay, that's a nice, solid top deck that activates some Fumes. Might get rid of a Bruiser / Screeching Dragon, maybe a Golden Aegis or even a Sivir. Pretty solid. Anyway, though, next up, okay, sure. Let's just get this in.
You dropped something. I dropped everything.
Great draw. Okay, getting rid of Concerted Strike's good. Concerted Strike's one of the few ways they have of actually dealing with Shellfolk. Just kind of want to set up the Shellfolk turn now. We only really have the Prank for the turn we play Shellfolk, but I might some Fumes here depending on what they do. See what they pull. That's fine.
That's right.
1-1 will block the 5-2.
Just kill me.
Wait, why am I... Yeah, okay. This is a solid... Yeah. I'm considering iterative improvement on my Otterpuss so I can play the Otterpuss and have 2 pranks here and have a 2-2. And I am going to do that. Yeah, I will do that. I actually really like that play. So now I have a 2-2 to block one of their 3-2s. And also because I just need to fight for the board because they're going to draw an extra card. They'll have 4 cards in hand. I'm probably going to take the turn off the Shellfolk here, and it's going to be a little problematic. I really hope I top deck Mystic Shot so I can be prepared for a Concerted Strike. They didn't give it to me. Whatever. I doubt they would Concerted Strike here anyway. I'd be very surprised if they did, in all honesty. It's a waste of a turn. They don't get much development. It's still a 1-for-1 though, but I don't know. I'd be very surprised because...
All that
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's not good, but sure. I think I will take a Merciless Hunter here. And we'll prank him again. Nice. That's actually really good. So now they have to... If they don't open attack, we'll just barrier our Shellfolk. That's insanely good, in fact. Cool. Pokestick's really good. All right, so we've accomplished our goal. We didn't take that much damage. We know what their hand is thanks to the pranks now. Got some sweet value here, and we're just going to win. Like, I honestly don't think I can lose from this position. They also didn't have an early action. Early action is kind of how Severe action snowballs early on. They also did throw away a spell on that turn where they played, okay, speaking of action. They also just didn't have that. They play, okay, I'm rambling now. I'm losing my train of thought here because I'm trying to think about this game and talk at the same time. They had that one turn where they just threw away a Shapestone for some reason. I assume they had a brain fart and thought it gave more health than it did, or they thought my telescope was a 1-1 or something. I have no idea.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them.
That's fine. I think I'm just gonna play... Let's do this now to set up our Fume so we can kill Sivir, because this Sivir is going to be annoying. So now they have to either attack with Action into our 3-2 or Sivir, which... Cool. So now we'll just save Sivir. They don't really have any other good attacks here. 2-2s can block the 3-2. If they attack in with everything... Okay, well, they didn't, so we'll just take care of Sivir. They might honestly just concede here. We win the game from here pretty much. We will play an Otterpuss. I will not prank here. I'll prank at the start of the next turn. I could see a defensive Bright Seal this turn, but I really don't see where they're... Oh my... That's a pretty solid card to take. Just play another Otterpuss here to soft pass again. So yeah, we've got this. Their action's so far away from leveling. Their palace is not going to matter too much. They're not going to have a horde. Yeah, defensive barriers, whatever. How's Ezreal looking? 3 out of 6. So they can't play Bruiser. They could Cataclysm? I'm going to play Archivist here. Nice. Also, quick note. What's it called? Archivist shows spells in order from left to right. So we know we'll see Mystic Shot, then a Pokestick, then a Trinket Trade, then a Mystic Shot. And somewhere in between will be a 5th card that's not a spell. I think I'm going to take Pokestick here.
Let me get you that file.
Also, I have a little too many units here. It's kind of a problem. So yeah, I feel like this is a very good example of just how this deck wants to play. Kind of sucks they're going to sell a barrier after that. So yeah, I don't really want to shuffle my deck with Time Trick because I've got some Mystic Shots coming up and more Mystic Shots will be pretty sweet. I could have actually, I had a cute play there. I could have played Pokestick in response to Cataclysm, see if I drew Mystic Shot and then played Mystic Shot. But I don't want to use a Mystic Shot here. I want to use Merciless Hunter to kill this.
We love it when they run.
Probably going to send in my 2/2 to kill Akshan and the... I'm just going to send in like this. Yeah, I'm just going to send in everything. Well, I'm not going to send in the auto poses. I'll send in this. I just want to get some board space right now. That's all I really want here with this play. So we win, right? Bruiser doesn't really mean much. We can always thermo him if I care. If they top deck Sivir, I can sort of deal with that. Hey, there's a Vi. Welcome to the party, Vi. Also one of the reasons why we only play 2 of you, because you're not that great in the late game. Let's see what their last card is. That's a pretty good card to prank and steal. It kind of basically just negates Sharp Sight. Alright, we'll just pass from that. See if they do anything else. Cool, cool. Well, you know I have a Sharp Sight, so I'll just block everything here, throw the Autopusses in the 3/2s. 4/6 into the 5/5. Win the game. GG. Right? Opponent, hello? I'm just gonna ping this now. Mostly to just set up Ezreal. Cool, they're just wasting their mana here. They know I have this, but it's still... I don't know if that's correct, but whatever. That's kind of useless. I got a nice 3 mana win, 3 mana positive trade. And Ezreal here to win the game. But yeah, this is a perfect example of this deck and exactly how this deck wants to win. We survived the early game. Shellfolk came down and just won us the game with its insane value. They're going to get a palace, a treasure, whatever this thing is called. Relic of Power. It's not really going to matter, especially after the attack phase, because... whatever. I guess if they find... well, no, I was going to say, if they find single combat to try and kill Shellfolk, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this game's over. I know I said this like 4 turns ago, but this game's really over now. Sure, opponent. Nice. We can play that at burst speed. I'm just going to play Vi here to mostly pass to them and make it really scary for them to play Sivir, I guess, or Bruiser.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
That's fine. It's just, you know, get some nice value here with this pull-in because of tough. If they have Sharp Sight here, that's annoying, but okay, they don't seem to have Sharp Sight. Cool. What is this? Oh, you know you could have used that to kill my Ezreal. Whatever. Well, we won. Yeah, I mean, like, we just get some more value. So I could even play Archivist, but I don't even know. We've won. Let's just cycle, I guess, too. This game's over. I'm playing really sloppily right now, but we've won this game. Like, they're top decking. We have a hand that's insanely heavy in value. It's kind of hard to throw from here. Like, I can't throw from here even if... Okay, there we go. GG. So, really good game as an example. Let's go to the next one.
Easy. Like my name.
Okay, we got another deck that had a pretty strong showing here at Worlds. We got Darkness. Also a solid deck for the meta at the moment, which I also kind of want to do a deck tech on in the future. This game, this matchup, as for mulligans, we need Mystic Shot. Mystic Shot is probably the most important card in this matchup. I will keep some Fumes because I don't have a Mystic Shot. And I'll look for... I want to find Mystic Shots, Vi is nice, and Shellfolk. And Thermo Beam for their champions. Vhagar specifically. But yeah, we're going to basically keep some Fumes here as a backup plan because a, what's it called, is really annoying. Catalyzer. I have Conchologist. I could play Conchologist here just to block their Catalyzer, but I'm going to use some Fumes. I'm going to use some Fumes to kill their Catalyzer because it's really, really annoying if they get that Catalyzer hit off. They don't have it. That's insanely good for me. I can develop the board now. Iterative Improvement again like last game for just some more values. Great. We can steal maybe even a Rekindler from them. Sure, I'll take this, I think. I'm just trying to think if I want Poro Cannon. I don't want it. I'll take Iterative Improvement. That's whatever. We can't do anything about that, so, you know, go ahead. So, our game plan now is just stop the Darkness buff. So, in other words, Catalyzer and Vhagar have to die at all costs. We're just going to pass here. No need to do anything yet. I was going to say if they played Darkness, I might have to do something. For example, I think I'm going to Iterative Improvement and play my units. Yes. Because I don't want to play an Ezreal. And this is nice. It can block a Sentinel. And we still have a way to deal with a Vhagar, and we don't have to worry about Stress Defense or Miscall. These are all really nice. I think I might take a Piltover Peacemaker. Just a way to deal 2 damage is really nice. Sure, I have some Fumes, but I'd rather use a different way besides some Fumes. With this board of theirs. This, Sentinel's not that common, but versioning Sentinel might start to push in a lot of damage. And like I said during the deck tech itself, the dissection, the look at the cards themselves, we don't have healing. Every point of damage is a permanent point of damage.
With our crystals combined.
I'm gonna play this during combat. I really hope they don't have 2 of these. Nice. All right, so we'll just Peacemaker block here. Seems good. They don't really have a way to stop that, so we were able to stop the damage buff. Got rid of the 3/3. 3 is going to be a little annoying, but maybe we'll get lucky. One of the flash bombs will hit this, and then we can ping it. If not, we can always play an Ezreal and have Mystic Shot to kill it. It's whatever. All I gotta do is just be ready to kill a Vhagar. And to a lesser extent, Senna when they play it. But I also have to not die. We're in an awkward spot. We are in a very awkward spot. Okay, Shellfolk's nice. Shellfolk is really good. I actually have to pass here. I can't play Telescope. If I play Telescope, I don't actually have a way to kill a Vhagar. I could bluff, say, like, playing Telescope could kind of bluff Thermogenic Beam, but if they pass an open attack for 5, that would have been fine. I'm mean, Senna's not that big of a problem. She is. Don't get me wrong, she is, but she's not that big of a problem. I could also just Ezreal, because they never got a actual discount. They never got a buff on this. I could Ezreal and Mystic Shot Senna? Kind of like that play.
Let's see all of it.
Also, another cute thing you can do in this matchup, pranking a darkness. Since they won't be able to actually discard or do anything else, that prank darkness is going to be really annoying. Just a cute thing you can do.
Nailed it.
All right. So I feel like my Ezreal's going to die here. I don't care if Ezreal dies. I just want him to kill Senna. That's literally all he's here for, is to kill Senna. Like, I assume darkness plus ping. They could even use 2 darknesses here, really. Like, darkness, attack in.
Eyes forward.
Whatever. This is kind of annoying. I'm just gonna do this now. I don't want to just take 3. Yeah? Yeah, I'll just take the 3. That's fine. Little worried about Mist Call here, but I could play some Fumes, I guess. Kill the Conchologist to try and turn the Mist Call into a 50-50. Let's just get our Telescope out now. Sure. I kind of like Serpent, but Telescope value. We need to fight for the board here, and second Telescope, I think, fights for the board better than a 1-1 Challenger. Cool, we'll just pass it in. We got rid of Senna, that's great. Just gonna start with a nice open attack for more Mystic Shots. Alright, we're starting to get control of this game. I assume, wow, that's a mini-morph. That's insanely good for me. And they're trading too? That's great. I can't be more happy with this play.
Persistence is key.
The fact that mini-morph went on something that's not Shellfolk. I mean, they blocked with the 2-2 instead of a 3-2, which is fine, but whatever. I feel like they're setting up a Withering Wail or something here. But yeah, we're in a good spot, I think. Sentinel's fine. I can always Mystic Shot if I care. Let's see what I get here. Okay, okay. Aloof Traveler's good. We can get rid of maybe a Senna. An Ishtali Sentinel would be nice to get rid of because that's some extra burn. I don't care too much about that activating, so I'm just going to let it go through. So yeah, we'll just play this now. Let's see what I draw first. Shellfolk, nice. And we got rid of another mini-morph. That's so good for me. Okay, so they played one mini-morph, and we made them discard a mini-morph. Our Shellfolk is super safe now. Oh, hey, I was wondering where those were. I completely forgot I put it in Flash Bombs into their deck. That's actually a huge hit, too. Now it opens up Pokestick plays. Hello, Veigar. Will Thermo you eventually. That's even better for me that they did that. I have no idea why they wanted to save this. Because now I just kill Veigar. This is great. Nice. This does make it awkward, though. I can't play Shellfolk this turn, but that's whatever. So what's the best way to kill Veigar? Some Fumes Pokestick, I think, is the best way to kill Veigar here. Yeah, I like Some Fumes Veigar. That'll use 5 mana. Sure, I'll block. Whatever. Could block like this, but why would I block 1 damage? I'd rather have a 2-1 body. I'll just take an extra point of damage to have a 2-1 body. So let's just see what I draw first. We're only going to burn 1 mana this way. We'll bank 3 of this 4 mana after I Sump Fumes Veigar. We've got this. And now I can just play Shellfolk and win the game. I kind of want to use one trinket trade now just to get an Otterpuss on the field so I can have a prank right away, but I'm not going to do that. Mostly because also my hand's a little full. So I have 12 mana. If I play this, I'll have 6 mana left for the Thermo Beam, sure. Ruination time, maybe? This is probably the best Ruination they're ever going to get this game if they go for it. But if they play that, I'll just trinket trade. I guess they could also play 3 mini-morphs and just mini-morph here, but that's a lot of mana, and I still have the board. I would just attack it with everything. They'd only have, what, 4 mana left? It's fine, I just lose Thermo Beam. That's annoying, but whatever. It's actually really annoying to lose, but I'll just do this now. An extra trinket trade. Purple Berry Shake's not terrible, but I'll just take the trinket trade. But yeah, losing that Thermo Beam is kind of annoying. Okay, good. They don't have a Vega or a Senna. I was really worried about that. I'm just going to send in the squad. Send in everyone but Shellfolk here to clean up some board space. They don't have any good value blocks. They can use the 3/4 to block a 2/2 and I'll be left with like a 2/1 and they'll be left with a 3/2. Yeah, I'll just attack in with everything.
What wondrous discoveries await below?
I'll just start with this though. Bouncing Bomb's not bad. It's actually really not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna take Bouncing Bomb here. I'll just soft pass. Otterpuss. So I can kill the 4/2. I'm just gonna attack. I'm just gonna send it all in. Clear the board. But yeah, welcome to one of the problems with this deck. You do start to get a full hand, which isn't a bad thing, but it does make it a little awkward when you're in this kind of situation where it's not really game over yet, and you're still fighting for board control and a win. Like, I can play Bouncing Bomb here to kill that, but that's not great. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's a problem. Oh, that's a really big problem. Oh, no, that's a problem. Alright, we're just gonna Bouncing Bomb here then. Do I have to chump that? Memories. Oh my god. Thankfully that's ephemeral. Unless they somehow got Death Mark from a Conchologist? But yeah, they're running out of cards. This is fine. We're in a good spot here. Could play Conchologist. Or Conchologist. Could play this. And prank them a bit. Yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to burn a card here, I think. But I don't care. Group Shot's not a terrible choice. Neither is Creations. But I just want the Otterpusses. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm going to burn a card here. Could Mystic Shot. Like, I could Mystic Shot just to not burn a card. Which I will do. By Mystic Shotting this too, it makes their open attack a little awkward as well. Nice. Thank you for cleaning that up for me. So they could Shellfolk and then do their own pranks. Okay, sure, I'm fine with that. Yeah, sure. Do you have someone to deal 4? Oh, they probably just have another Darkness Creator. I don't want to hit the Shellfolk. I'm going to prank their prank. to get more pranks so I can keep pranking them. Nice. I'll take one of those. Let's just keep pranking them, get some insane value. Sure. Sure, I'll get more pranks. Let's keep the value train going. Again, like I was saying, we're just going to combo off. If I keep hitting pranks, I'll just keep going off. All right, there we go. That's what I was trying to see. The last card, or the other two hitting cards. We'll just take a stress defense again. Let's do this so I have a way to block Vilemaw. Nice. I know I'm not going to get the actual fleeting copy, but still, I like it.
It's more exciting than an unsolved mystery.
The match, it calls to me.
So I can just Mystic Shot Bouncing Bomb to kill him. Alright, we're fine. And now I know their whole hand. Lovely. Cool. We'll just send this in. I'm trying to think if I have a better way besides Mystic Shot, Bouncing Bomb to kill this. Because they don't have a way to protect him because I pranked their stress defense. Yeah. I don't have 1 mana left over. I can prank again, I guess. Nah. I don't want to prank just yet again. Just Bouncing Bomb now. I did not know I could do that. I did not know I could put Bouncing Bomb. I completely forgot Bouncing Bomb was slow. I was like, how am I casting Bouncing Bomb? Whatever. This should kill it, right? Yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. I think I glitched out the game. They're both on top of each other. Whatever. Thankfully, it should still work. Draw. Okay, now I'll prank then. Actually, no, I'll let them... No, I want to prank now. I want to prank now because it increases my chances of pranking. Like, pranking a prank and, you know, having our infinite combo go off a bit again. Alright, Vile Feast. Again, we're just trying to get as much information as possible. I'm going to prank the darkness because that makes their darkness really awkward to play now. All right. Info. You love to see it. And now they can't Shellfolk prank me. I mean, they could, but there's... Actually, no. Yeah, they could. 11 mana for Shellfolk and a prank, but they would not do that. Opponent, we've won. I mean, I've won here. I'm sorry. Let's just start with this. Some fumes? Sure. More removal for Vhagar's is good. And then, I don't know, I'll just play this. Actually, let me look for... Let's just pass for now. We don't actually have to do anything yet. Alright, they probably have another Darkness Greater. They know I have the stress defenses, so this is kind of awkward for them. Yeah, they're just sending everything at once, but that takes up all their mana, and I just play stress defense in response, so GG. Do you have, like... Is there a way to deal 2 here? Ah, okay, well... Stress defense. Wow, Shellfolk is great, but yeah... Another good game we have here. Another solid deck we're playing against, and we're just showing off, like, just what this deck can do. Alright, so I'm just gonna... Because of that, that gives us a lot of room in our hand now. I think I'm just gonna do this and get Otter Plus, unless there's a great spell here. I don't care about either of those. I already have another stress defense. I don't need group shot. I have removal galore. Let's just Otter Puss and start pranking again. You love to see it. Oh, baby, you love to see it. Okay, Withering Mist is going to be annoying, but again, just prank the prank into unplayability. That's the last card. Yeah, that prank's now 13 mana. You're never playing that card, and I'll take a Withering Mist so I can get some healing now. So now I can't even die to the burn plan of theirs. And I still have the attack token. I just realized I still have an attack. I mean, it's only 5 damage, but hey, it's 5 damage. And we've turned the game around. Welcome to Control, boys and girls. Welcome to Control. You'll love to see it. Yeah, it's not looking too good for them. Oh, man. But yeah, we've got this. Looks like another opponent like our last opponent who, while the game's over, they're full of copium. They're hoping for some kind of miracle, but unless I play extremely poorly, I'm not losing this game. I never let them get a buff on their darkness. This is great. I'm going to actually play this mostly because I want room in my hand, in all honesty. Could have pranked here, actually, to activate some fumes. That's whatever. We'll just do this. Thank you for clearing some room in my hand now.
Make the darkness your own.
I don't want to prank that Withering Mist again. Let's just see what I get here from Telescope. I want to find like a nice epic here. Spectral Matron's not terrible, but Yordle Ranger's not bad.
Bury fear, bury doubt.
I really wish I had a way to kill this. I'm just gonna Sump Fumes it. I wish I had a way to kill that and still have enough mana to play Yordle Ranger, but whatever.
I understand. No.
I guess I'll just prank here. Sure, just more of this. Up there's a prank again. We're just gonna keep doing this little combo. I'll take some healing, why not? All right, I'll just start off with an open attack for 10 damage here. Opponent, we've got this. I'm sorry. I feel like a bully a bit here, but I am not losing this game. I guess I could lose my Shellfolk, but here's what happens. I lose Shellfolk. So what? And it had to be a top deck. There's nothing in their hand that stops Shellfolk. We just look for Ezreal, though, if I lose Shellfolk. Or, you know, another Shellfolk. It's fine. I don't even have to do anything right now. I'll just pass. Onto my Shellfolk. Yep. I'm going to do this mostly to get some room in my hand. This card's not too great right now. Well, that's ephemeral, so that does nothing, opponent. I'm going to kill one of my Otterpusses to get a Telescope. Huh. Huh. Sure, why not? Why not? Also, I've casted 36 cards this game? Yeah, sure, opponent. Let's start off with Conchologist here. I'll take another Thermo, I think. Yeah, I'll take another Thermo.
Astounding curiosities lie ahead.
I'll play the cheaper one for now.
Our superior battle tactics.
So, what are you gonna do when I play this, opponent? Please let it go off. Come on, let it go off. Let it go off. You know you want to see it. You know you want to see just how big my units are. Yeah, there you go. You're a good sport, opponent. Wow. Do I even scout? No, I'm just gonna attack him with everything. I feel like the scout attack would be a BM kind of play. It probably is even worse to actually scout attack here too. Anyway. But yeah, those are okay. We lose a thermo beam or something here, so we win. But yeah, that's a good example of this game, just like the previous one. So, once this game is over, let's go back to the deck itself. Come on, opponent. I know, it's cool and all. Yeah. All right, welcome back to the deck. So, I feel like those two games were very good examples of just exactly what this deck likes to do. In game one against Sivir Akshan, we saw it also helped our opponent made a misplay with that Shapestone, but we saw a very good example of just playing removal, fighting for the board, and just surviving. And then we played a Shellfolk and then got a lot of value. And we got a lot of like nice damage as well with Ezreal. So we got to see the Ezreal game plan. And then game two against the Darkness player, we did draw Ezreals, but Ezreal was mostly there less as a win con / finisher and more as a way to generate some value and help us last long enough until we could get Shellfolk. Because in our second game, if you remember, in our second game, our opponent had a fairly aggressive start, but we were able to mitigate the damage, and then we just were able to take over with insane amounts of Shellfolk value. Shellfolk pranking was going crazy. It also helped that they had pranks, so we could prank their prank and get basically 0 mana pranks and keep pranking forever and ever and ever until we didn't hit a prank, which gave us some insanely good info on their hand. Even if we weren't pranking the cards, we saw the info from their hand, which, you know, it's always good to have some extra info. But yeah, great deck. Highly competitive, not necessarily tier 1, but a solid tier 2 deck in my opinion. Very fun deck too as well. Just if you're looking for a fun deck, I highly recommend it. There are other variants of this deck if you're looking for them, just Shellfolk in general, I mean. There's a version I personally like to play that is a Poppy Lux version that plays Demacia instead of Piltover and Zond. The reason I like that version as well is because you can play Radiant Guardian, so you can have some healing, so you can really crush more aggressive matchups like Poppy Ziggs and Gangplank TF. But yeah, so also Conchologist gives you some good hits too in Demacia in the form of single combat and other such things like Chain Vest and Ranger's Resolve. Anyway, though, that's it for the video, I will say. But still, there's a few more notes I'd like to go over. There's a lot of just cards you can change and swap in and out with this deck. Like I said before, maybe Aftershock's a thought. In case you're seeing things like Bandletree or Star Springs, get excited if you want a little more face damage. More mini morphs if you really hate Scion. Just some lovely choices and stuff. And these are the kind of decks I like the most. Just some great value engine kind of decks that are very modular and that you can take in and out cards. So highly recommend this deck if you haven't played it before. I don't really need any new champions because it just plays Ezreal and Vi, so it shouldn't be that expensive to craft. I believe Shellfolk's an epic, which is expensive, but it's not that expensive. But yeah, I recommend it if you're looking for a very nice, dirtily control style deck. Control combo, I guess, if you want to be pedantic about it. This is the deck for you. Anyway, though, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have learned something about how to play Ezreal Vi a little bit better. And if you just enjoyed the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a comment or a like down below. It always helps me out. And if you guys like the content and want to see more Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton, where I stream Legends of Runeterra pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye.